Farmers from Lake Horowhenua have had enough of their land being treated like public land and their lake like public toilets because of neglect by a Crown-appointed lake board. So some of them are heading to the Supreme Court tomorrow to clarify their property rights. Their ultimate aim is to clean up their long polluted lake. Karley Hemopo went to Lake Horowhenua.
Ko Phil taue ki tēnei me tana kuri a Zeus. Nei rā tōna papakainga kei ngā pari o Horowhenua a rā te pā upo tangotango. Mā nuka ana te wanaungatanga ki wainga i a Phil me te karapu o e waka tai atu ki ngā preimana.
This is the survey peg, and that lines up with that fence there. Now they were told, and this is the area where we used to row our dead from this side of the lake across to our urupa and Marae over that side for thousands of years. Now these people were told last year and signed a letter accepting that they've been launching their boats off the wrong place. The only place they're allowed to launch their boats off is in front of the sailing club at the southern end.
I takea mai te raru i tana tono ki te kauni era kia waka au i ngā warepaku kia waka tu anō oki i te iwa I oro I waka. A kua tutu anō te pueu.
I got a bat out of the back of my car and stood here telling them, you're not coming back onto my land. So they changed course at the last minute. I threw a few stones in front of them, hit the water, not them, and they came ashore here. They went in and rang the cops. They arrested me there. The police cars had parked over there, so they just took me around there, put handcuffs on me, shoved me in the back. My house was open, the car was left open, and the police wouldn't allow me to come back over and just close it up before they took me down to the police station that night.
And you came back the next day?
Came back the next day and my car was smashed to pieces.
Kei te ware kōti anō a Phil e ārai ana I ai anō I ngā wakapai.
How many times have you been in court?
The last couple of years I've been here about 30, 40 times. So far, 20-odd charges I've been charged with. 75% of them have been dropped or have been dismissed by the time we get to court.
E rua ngā wakapai e pāna ki tete I preimana I waka korea e te kōti taitei I te mea ko te preimana te kai wakapai me te preimana matua e ara I ana I te tiroanga. Ko pai wā I a noa Phil ki ngā take pēnei me ngā preimana, koira e ari ia I ona wakapai ki te ropu motu ake e tiro I ngā wakaaere a ngā preimana.
There's an unhealthy relationship between the police force and the local council where the mayor can just ring up his mate, the policeman, and get him to come down and arrest me if I'm, in their words, bothering the public. It's the public who are breaking the law down there.
I ngā rā o mua e pātaka kai nui a Horowhenua e rangi I ngā taurima ngā uru I eke I o tōna oranga.
This is what we're stuck with. Works over there, which is still letting the pari tūtai into the lake. The weir over there on the other side there, that is still a concrete dam. That's all it is. A good wet water pops over top and the crap stays in the lake. And the sludge has got to be sucked out of the lake. But there should be signs every 100 metres right around the lake. Don't touch anything out of this water. Because you see people, you see even our Asian whānaus coming down to take kai out. But what are they putting inside their bellies, eh? It's no good. Crown-based agencies put this in the state it is, and it's a job of Cabinet to clean it up. We've got to stay on a kaupapa of cleaning this lake up. Whoever's in power, because it was them who ticked the box for this to go ahead in the old days. And tick the box the other way now, start cleaning it. And we want a little bit more dewy and a bit less hui.
Kei te waka ea e ni te puari tia ki rā ui wenua a e kuare no rātau.
The more I've delved into this, the more I cannot believe that in this day and age that the government, a council, a Lake Domain Board doc can treat an owner who is a direct descendant of a treaty signatory in such a shameful way. Local owners should have control over it. Instead, it's been placed in the hands of a Lake Domain Board who have allowed it to be neglected. And one of the worst polluters is our own council.
E rua wiki ki muri toko rima ngā mana I waitohu I te iwa kaitanga kia maita I rātai ki te waka paipai I te roto. Koe nei te rautaki waka mutunga, a koa neke atu I te rima ngā uru tau tēnei take e aere ana.
You've been in office 9 years.
Yes, I have.
And only now you've become proactive about a solution.
No, I haven't. You didn't hear me. I said to you that the lake trustees, the representatives of the beneficial owner, I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm saying to you that they are the owners. We have to respect that.
So I thought I'd bring Lake Horowhenua with me. How bad is this water?
Oh, well, I think all the reports tell us that it's certainly not flash by any stretch of the imagination.
One glass could kill a small child.
Yeah, well, if you were silly enough to go down there and drink it, which is highly unlikely.
You end up in the water, you accidentally,
Yeah, it's not flash.
Yeah.
Nobody's denying that.
Why is Lake Horowhenua sitting in the top 10 worst lakes in New Zealand?
It's a dying lake. It's in a sand
I'd say
dune.
it's a dead lake.
Well, it's in a sand dune. You need to understand the history of it.
Is that why it's such a low priority, or it's not a priority at all?
It's a high priority.
Aki mai ana te koro matua kia aere tai mātai ki te kite I te kaipapa waka pai wai. I tango ia ēnei wakaua, I mua rawa I te ui matua.
What's wrong with what we were doing? So we get criticised.
What were her reasons for that?
Oh, God knows. Those are discussions you need to have. It'll be around it's a burial site or something. So, from the lake, of course, we're going to find remains of activity that was occurring near burial site. I don't think so.
Oh, are we filming? Are we rolling?
Ōrere ana te tangata ki te ia o ngā amuamu?
No, that's the disrespect he's got for these issues.
E kai pupuri wenua e mata pōpore anō o ki a Vivian. Ki tāna I wakatakotoria ngā wanga ki te aroaro o te kauniera, e rangi ki tā rātau kāre te I paku waka I taua mai. I te mutunga ake I iki ai te mai.
Number one, it's a sacred site. But number two, the improvement in water quality is pathetic. It's Council's own report that it's only a 0.01% increase in water quality. That is where I got this figure. It's not one I made up in my head. Even though we've proven mana whenua over the area, he'll still go and consult people who have no real relationship to the area to give approval to his projects. Their excuse may be that, well, this is only a handful of moaipoko. Well, it doesn't matter. There's still moaipoko.
They tried to say that because there's 1,700 owners, that I have no right as an individual owner to protect my land. And that's what the Supreme Court case is about. We've agreed to share it with the public, but there are certain rules that we ask them to respect to protect the lake. It's a scar on our mana that we've allowed our lake to get into this situation. We have to hold those who are accountable for allowing our most prized tonga to be turned into the town's toilet. We have to make them accountable.
All right, Willie Jackson joins us now. I mean, that's often an issue, isn't it? Who has kaitiakitanga for lake management and so on, and we see that this is an issue here. The main thing, though, is to get these places cleaned up. And what we know is that five organisations have signed an accord to start that process. And also that the Land and Water Forum has come back and are saying we're going to incentivise people to have a collaborative approach to manage fresh water. Is it going to be enough? Do you have confidence in this process?
It's a tough area, you see, because people, particularly with Māori, we argue about who's got the mandate. So that's what's happening down there. Who's got the mandate to clean this up? But the kaupapa is about cleaning it up. But meanwhile, while we're arguing, unfortunately, the council gets off scot-free. And that's the other side of it. A lot of these councils around the country, Miriam, they got a lot to answer for, you know, and they do nothing. I was involved with the Lake Omapere up north when I was on Māori Affairs Select Committee. We went through this whole process. And then what happens is when Māori settle and the pūtea comes across, the money comes across, they'll say, well, you Māoris, you clean it all up.
Yeah.
You tidy it all up. But never mind the history and the debt that's owed in terms of that lake. I think when I look at it, I've got a lot of sympathy for our people down there, but other people are getting off too easy.
It's absolutely horrific, isn't it? The notion that it could kill a dog and perhaps even a small child is just unbelievable.
But we shouldn't have to clean up everything with our very small pūtea.
No, that's exactly right, and that'll be interesting to see what comes out of this Land and Water Forum plan.
Absolutely.
Mighty River Power, John Key must be vindicated. Surely,
well,
oversubscription pre-registration.
They say 390,000 have signed the no assets, don't sell our assets petition. Within 20 hours, he had 120,000 had signed up for pre-registration. So he's feeling vindicated. I was a bit shocked with that.
Well, is he vindicated?
Well, there's no guarantee they're going to buy shares. That's the thing. There's no guarantee they're going to buy shares.
But this seems to be a pretty good indication.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a bit of a vindication for the right-wingers, and they were ringing us on Radio Live saying, there you go, Willie. You know what upsets me about this is people who have rallied against the asset sales, and then all of a sudden they're in the pre-registration process.
I think we'll see a lot of it
like
next
some
year.
of your relations.
And probably yours too, Willie. All right, we're going to leave it there for now. Scotty, back to you.